Hi, Paula. Hi, Catherine. Just giving this a quick check out. So, looking forward to practicing with you guys this morning. We're going to start in a seated position, and if you have 2 blocks, go grab them now. It's a bit of a mess in the studio this morning because I was painting last night. So I won't scan the room anyway to show you what's happening behind the camera. So we'll just give it maybe about 1 minute longer before we start the class. And you can get yourself nice, comfy and cozy because we're going to start in a seated position for our centering this morning. Oh, thanks, Catherine. Well, this side of the room is looking good anyway. Can you guys hear me? Just a quick sound check so we don't have like a muted video, if someone can just pop on. Well, guys, I bet you do hear me because Catherine knows that I painted the room. Okay, right, we're going to get started. So just sitting up nice and tall. Just grabbing whatever props you need. And I invite you to gently close your eyes. Just taking this time just to drop into presence, drop into your experience right now. And just begin to explore and notice all the different sensations that are making up your physical experience at this time. So what sensations are showing up? Taking a moment just to check in with yourself energetically, mentally and emotionally. Just see how you're doing right now. How are you feeling? And now resting your awareness on your breath. So just noticing how the breath moves through the body this morning. What is its quality, its texture, and where is it most apparent? Just using the breath as an anchor into this present moment. So as much as you can, just follow the next 4 rounds of breath, staying really present with each part of the breath. The inhale, the pause, and the exhalation, and the pause. And now take a moment to set an intention for this morning's practice or this noontime practice. Where would you like to direct the good energy of today's practice? And we'll begin our warm up in tabletop on hands and knees. So spreading your fingers. Middle fingers facing forward, heel of the hands underneath the shoulders, and then just check behind that the knees are underneath the hips. We'll start with a few rounds of gentle moving cat. So as you inhale, we'll lift the chest and the tailbone, just opening up the front of the body. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest, creating space in the back of the body. We'll continue this movement 3 more times. So as you inhale, lengthen the front of the body, lifting the chest and tailbone. And as you exhale, press into the hands, draw the belly in, chin to chest. Even a little lift of your pelvic floor muscles here. Just 2 more like this. Inhale, nice and slowly, feeling into the movement. Exhale, rounding, creating space, moving into any uninhabited areas. Just 1 more. And then exhale, round, and we'll press the hips back towards the heels. Just feeling a little bit of length in the spine, both sides of the waist here. We'll make our way back onto hands and knees and begin to open up the wrists by taking the right hand out to the right hand side, fingers to the right hand side, and then see if you can bring them back towards your knee here. So we'll do this one at a time. Begin to lean back a little bit so you feel a nice stretch in the wrist. So just play with your edge. You'll know if this feels okay in your body. If this doesn't feel good, just stay in tabletop, moving through that cat and cow movement. If you can, we're going to lean back a little bit, stretching into the wrist. Maybe you can lift the heel of the hand, stretching into the fingers, and then come forward again. Turn that right hand around, and we'll do the same to the left. Left fingers out to the left side of the mat, back towards the body, or back towards the left knee. And as you press down, you're going to lean back, play with the edge. So the sensations that are showing up, left wrist. And if you can, we can lean back a little bit more, maybe take the heel of the hand off so we can stretch into the fingers. And we'll make our way back into tabletop. On the next exhalation, we'll round the spine, bringing the chin in towards the chest. And as you inhale, stretch that right leg straight out behind. Heel in line with the hip. So as you exhale, we'll round, create space in the back of the body. Inhale, stretch out. You're also engaging your core here to bring the knee into the chest, lift the back ribs, and stretch out again. Just 1 more time like this. Exhale, bring it in. And now we'll step that right foot between your hands. As you inhale, we'll lift the heart. Walk your left knee back just a little bit, sink the hips. Just noticing what is showing up here. So in the hamstrings, right leg, maybe you're feeling the front of the left thigh, shoulders away from the ears. And then from here, we're going to press into the 4 corners of your right foot. Using that cat arch in the spine, draw the belly in, come up nice and slowly. So you're engaging the core as you come up, and then shoulders down the back. Inhale, reach both arms up in line with the ears. Sink a little lower if you can. Just one more breath here. Inhale. We're going to come into half Hanuman. This is a nice stretch for your hamstrings. Take your right hip back. Curl the toes back towards the body. Reach your arms behind you. So you're stretching into the back of the right leg here. And then we'll take your right hand on the inside of the right leg. So hugging your arm and leg together as you still sink into the hamstrings here. You can take your left hand to your hip. I'm using my mic, or take the arm all the way up to the ceiling here. Or the hand to the hip. So again, we're just going a little bit deeper into the right hamstrings here. Just one more breath in here, inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to kick this left foot off the mat, make our way into gate. So we're going to flex the right foot. You might like to stretch that leg out a little bit more and press the foot down into the floor. So for this version, we're going to take the toes to face the long side of the mat. So press down through the four corners of that right foot. And as you inhale, we'll stretch the left hand up to the ceiling, just resting your right hand on your right thigh. See if you can lift up through the arches or the arch of your right foot here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, left fingertips to the floor, and we can lift our right foot out in line with the hip. So this is our quarter moon here. Bring that right knee into your chest and then press actively through the foot like you're pressing it against a wall. Reach your right fingertips up to the ceiling. See what's comfortable for the neck. So you might prefer to look down towards the floor, into the room, or up towards the thumb. So we're going to move between gate and this pose for 4 different flows. So inhale here. Exhale, bring your right foot to the floor, right hand to the thigh. Reach up through the fingertips. Inhale, back into your quarter moon. Exhale, gate. Inhale, quarter moon. Exhale, gate. 2 more like this. Last time. And we'll make our way back into tabletop. So both hands to the mat. Walk your knees back so they're back underneath your hips here. And then we'll move to the other side. So on the inhale, we'll stretch that left leg out, heel from the hip. And as you exhale, take the knee into your chest and lift the back ribs. We'll do this 3 more times. Inhale, press it out. Exhale, knee in to round. Inhale, press it out. Exhale. One more time like this. Exhale, round. You're going to bring that left leg all the way back up, coming into your low lunge. Fingertips on the floor. We'll walk that right leg back out behind you a little bit and sink into the hamstrings left side. Shoulders away from the ears. Just breathing into the sensations that are showing up. Now begin to press into the 4 corners of your left foot. Draw your abdomen in, so think of that cat arch in the spine as you come up. You're rounding, shoulders down the back. Inhale, reach your arms up in line with your ears, and we'll sink a little lower into your low lunge. Heart is lifted. And from here, we'll take your left hand on the inside of that left leg, and we can kick that right foot out to the side a little bit here. For comfort, you might be able to walk your right knee back a little bit. Bring the left arm to hug the left leg and just sink into it. Just play your edge here. Doesn't really matter what it looks like. So you're just trying to find where the sensations are showing up. Can you stay there and breathe? You can stay here or reach that arm up in line with your ear, or take your hand to your hip, whatever feels better. And then from here, we're going to change this position into a gate pose. So the right foot, we can keep it out to the side. Begin to stretch out that left leg, curl the toes back towards the body. Left hand on your left thigh and reach the right arm up in line with your ear. So you're stacking your hip bone, right hip bone over the right knee here. Create space along the right side of the body. Press into the four corners of that left foot. Lengthen both sides of your waist. Inhale. Exhale, right fingertips to the floor. We float that left leg up. Bring the knee into your chest so you can actively use your core rather than lift the leg up to the ceiling and create a really heavy lever. We'll bring the knee in and press actively out. Reach that left arm up. We're going to move between our quarter moon and gate 4 times. Inhale, exhale, gate. Inhale, quarter moon. Exhale, gate. 2 more. This is our last one. And then from here, we're going to make our way back onto hands and knees, tabletop. Spreading your fingers, tucking your toes under. We'll make our way into our first downward facing dog, or the Muktanasana. So send your sit bones high. We'll keep a deep bend in the knees. So we're going to move away from the hamstrings. Lift the sit bones, draw the abdomen in. Press the chest back towards your thighs. Lifting up underneath your armpits here. And then look at the space between your hands. We'll walk, step, or jump forward to the front of your mat and just allow the upper body to drape down here. Just gently nodding the head. Releasing any holding in the neck. Dropping the shoulders down towards the floor. Breathing into your back ribs. So as you inhale, feel them rising. As you exhale, you're just deepening your forward fold from your hip crease. 3 more conscious breaths here, breathing in space. And as you exhale, softening into that space. Now pressing into your feet, draw your abdomen in, and as you inhale, we're going to make our way up nice and slowly. And exhale, shoulders down the back. Inhale, shoulders up to your ears. And exhale, release. We'll take your hands together in prayer at the front of your mat. Soften your knees. Inhale, open up your arms, look up. Hands in prayer, exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers on the floor or somewhere on the lower legs, your choice. Exhale, fold from your hip crease. Inhale, we'll step back, right leg. Exhale, release the right knee to the floor. Inhale, reach both arms up in line with the ears. Exhale, coming back into your Hanuman, half Hanuman. So you're taking the left hip back, curl the toes back towards your body. Reach your fingers behind you. And I will bend that left leg, place the hands on the floor, step back into your first plank pose. So high plank, Press actively into your hands. Press out through your heels, draw your abdomen in, and then lower the knees to the floor. We're going to come down half chaturanga. So keeping everything nice and contained, hugging your core in, we'll bend the elbows and slowly lower. Once you come to the floor, we're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So tops of the feet on the ground. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers. Chin is parallel to the floor. Just a gentle back bend here. You can actively press into the feet, to the pubic bone. Lift your pelvic floor muscles, draw the abdomen in. Just one more breath here, inhale. And as you exhale, pressing into your arms, begin to lift the belly off the floor, chin to chest, look down towards your belly. And as you exhale, lower the belly to the floor, soften. We'll do that 2 more times. So pressing into your arms, into your legs. Begin to peel the hips off the floor, chin to chest, look back towards your belly, and lower. Last time. And then we'll take your hands back underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under Ardha Uttanasana, downward facing dog. So we'll send your sit bones high, press your chest back towards your thighs. Play your edge here so you can begin to straighten your legs a bit more if that feels okay. And if it doesn't, keep that deep bend in the knees. Focus on lengthening the spine. Both sides of the waist. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale, extend your right leg high, lead with the heel. Just get a sense of what's happening here. So pressing actively into both arms. We'll bend that right heel, bring it in towards the buttock, and then stretch it out. 2 more times. Bend, extend. 1 more time. Look at the space between your hands and step that right foot all the way to the front of the mat. Walk your left leg back a little bit here. Keep your left hand on the floor, and we'll come into a revolve lunge, reaching your right arm up. Your modification here is to take this right hand to the hip or the left knee to the floor. Lean back a little bit if you can. 1 more breath here. Inhale, take your right hand to the floor and step forward. Standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Lift your heart. Excuse me. Exhale. Hands down by your side. I'll have to stop smoking the cigars in the corner. Okay. So back in your mountain pose, hands together. Inhale, open up your arms, look up. We'll take our hands in prayer. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, your choice. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back, left leg, long lunge. And as you exhale, we release that left knee to the floor. Press into the 4 corners of your right foot. Inhale, reach your arms up in line with your ears. Exhale, half Hanuman. So we send that right hip back. Flex the toes, reach your arms behind you. Now placing that right foot back on the floor, hands to the earth, we'll step back into high plank. So you can modify by coming straight into low plank with the knees to the floor if you choose. Spreading your fingers, activating the core, keeping your neck nice and long. We release the knees to the floor and we lower half chaturanga, so half moving plank. Bend your elbows and slowly lower. This time we'll bring the forehead to the earth, press down into the feet, into the pubic bone. We'll bring our arms into a diamond shape. So the arms are completely flat on the floor, elbows wide, fingers pointed towards each other. Press down into your feet, into your pubic bone, and as you inhale, lift your left elbow. As you exhale, release the elbow to the floor. Inhale, lift the left elbow, lift the head, look out over the left shoulder. And exhale, release. Inhale, lift the left elbow, lift the head, look out over the shoulder, and bend the right leg. Exhale, release everything to the floor. Soften completely. Inhale, lift your right elbow. So play your edge. What does it feel like? Where do you feel this? Exhale, release that elbow to the floor. Inhale, lift the elbow, lift the head. Turn the gaze to look out over the right shoulder. And exhale, release fully to the floor. Inhale, lift the elbow, lift the head. Turn the gaze and bend your left leg. And exhale, release everything to the earth. We'll take your hands back underneath your shoulders, spread your fingers, hug your elbows into your midline, tuck your toes under. Press back, downward facing dog. Ardha Mukta Uttanasana. Again, if you need to keep a bend in your knees, feel free. Really focus on the length of the spine. You're pressing your chest back towards your thighs, lifting up underneath the arms. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale, extend your left leg, lead with the heel. As you exhale, we'll bend that heel in towards the buttock. Inhale, stretch that leg out. Exhale, heel into the buttock. One more time like this. Inhale. Exhale. Now look at the space between your hands, and we'll step that left foot all the way up. Take as many steps as you need to. Then walk your right foot back a little bit. Keep your right hand underneath the shoulder, and we'll come into a revolve lunge here, stretching up through the fingertips, if that feels okay for the body. One more breath in here. Inhale, exhale, take the left hand down and step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, reverse swan dive. Exhale, we'll take your hands to heart center and pause. Once again, just feel the feet on the floor. Feel the movement of your breath. So grab your blocks. You might need them for the next float. You can use them for balance. It's just optional. We'll use them for a couple of things. So if you do have blocks, grab them now. So your feet are still hip distance apart. We'll soften the knees. Inhale, open up the arms, look up. This time as we exhale, we'll swan dive down, touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Your choice. Lift the heart. Exhale, fold from your hip crease. Inhale, we'll step back with your right leg. It's a long lunge. Left knee is over the ankle. From here, we begin to walk our hands up onto your left thigh. So you can always modify this by keeping that right knee on the floor, coming into a high lunge, keeping that right leg nice and active. Hip points are facing the front of the mat. So hug in your core. Inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, elbows into your waist as you lift the heart. So you're going to cactus the arms, open the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open the heart and bend your right knee so it hovers above the floor. Keep hugging those elbows in, lean back a little bit here. And then we'll take our hands onto your blocks or just transfer the weight forward, making your way into Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. So we're trying to keep this right heel in line with the hip, trying to keep both hips even. If you can even glance back towards your toes, make sure they're pointed towards the floor. Soft bend in your standing leg. You can take your hands to the heart if that feels okay. From here, we're going to come into a mountain pose, lifting your right leg in line with your hip. And then we'll make our way back into warrior three. So feel free to use support here, stretch the leg out behind, and then we'll step that right foot to the floor. Virabhadrasana 2. So spin the right foot for warrior 2. Inhale, reach your right arm up and over, stretching through your fingertips and pressing the floor away from you. From warrior 2, peaceful, right hand down, left hand up. So we keep the legs the same. Inhale here, exhale, warrior 2. Inhale here, exhale, peaceful. Inhale here, exhale, warrior 2. So from here you have an option of taking the block on your inner ankle for extended side angle. So you can either take your forearm to your thigh or hand onto your block or the floor as you reach your arm up or overhead. Warmer breath in here. We'll take both hands to the floor, step back into high plank. So you have an option whether you bring the knees to the floor or lower in full chaturanga, bend the elbows and lower to the earth. We'll take our fingertips off the mat. Bring your forehead to the earth, elbows are high. So you might notice already that you're beginning to work into your shoulders. Excuse me. Press actively into your feet here. Press your pubic bone down. Draw your abdomen in. And as you inhale, we're going to lift the back ribs. So 3 waving cobras. Let the head be heavy. Bend the neck. And then lift the head. And then as you exhale, pour the body down. Ribs, neck, and head. 2 more like this. Inhale, waving up. Keeping it as fluid as you can. Exhale, softening down. Inhale, waving up. And exhale, melting down. Once we're down, place your hands on the floor underneath your shoulders. So think of cobra arms here. We're going to bend that left leg. Roll over to the right side. So as you do this, we'll bring that left ball of the foot on the floor, just behind the right leg. You're going to charge up, supercharge the right leg. So begin to press down into the outer foot. From here, you can lift the hips off the floor. So if this is something that you're not familiar with, you can keep your left hand on the floor just to support you here. Or if it feels okay, you can begin to lift a little higher. Maybe stretch that right arm or left arm up. And then you could play with lifting that left leg if it felt okay. Just listen to your body. We'll meet in downward facing dog. 2 more breaths. And then stretching back into down dog. So sending your sit bones high, pressing your chest back towards your thighs, feeling into the body. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale, extend your right leg behind you. And as you exhale, take your right knee to your outer right elbow. Slide it down to your wrist. Take it over to the left elbow and wrist. Right elbow and wrist. Left elbow and wrist. And now extend it behind one more time. Inhale. Exhale, step it forward between your hands. Take as many steps as you need to. Take a full breath in here. And as you exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. All the way up, lift your heart. Exhale, take your hands to heart center. And just pause for a moment. Excuse me. Before we go to the other side. Soften your knees. Drop into your feet. Feel the floor. Inhale, take your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, swan dive down, touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back with your left leg. Long lunge. Right knee is over the ankle. Soften the shoulders away from the floor or away from the ears even. That will be weird. And then we'll walk our hands onto your thighs for our high lunge. So you always have an option to drop that left knee to the floor. So supercharge up the legs, reaching your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the heart. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, up. This is the last time. Exhale, cactus, and we'll bend that left knee. Let it hover off the floor. Supercharge your core here. And then we'll move forward into Virabhadrasana 3. So hands on the blocks or the floor as you lift the left leg. Again, check that the toes are facing down. So we're trying to keep the hips closed here. Shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen your neck. A soft bend in your standing legs so we can really focus on hugging the muscles to the bones. Hands to the heart if that feels okay. Making our way into our balance, mountain pose, left knee in line with the hip. And then pressing it back into warrior 3. And we'll step that left foot to the floor. So from here, we'll spin that left foot for warrior 2. Reach your left arm all the way up and around, reaching your fingers out from the shoulders, and then pressing the floor away from you. No tension or holding in the neck. We'll take your left hand down, right hand up, peaceful. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale, peaceful. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. We'll hold it here. Prepare for extended side angle. So you can either take your forearm onto your thigh, hand to your block or the floor as we reach the left arm up or over your ear. So find what serves your body this morning. One more breath in. Exhale, take both hands to the floor and step back into your high plank. So your choice, half chaturanga or full, as you slowly lower down. We're coming back into our 3 waving cobras. So we'll press actively into the feet, pubic bone. Rest the forehead on the earth. TP fingers, so we're up on the finger pads. Off the mat, elbows are high. Now as you press down and activate, draw your abdomen in. Inhale, lift the back ribs. Back of the neck and the head. Exhale, pour the body down. 2 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. So once you reach the floor, we'll take our hands back underneath your shoulders. Bend your right leg, roll onto the left side. So we'll bring that right leg quite close to the left. The left leg is extended, supercharge it. Left hand underneath your shoulders. You can use your right arm for support if you choose as you lift up into this side plank variation. Reaching that right arm up. Maybe lift your right leg. We'll meet in plank after 2 breaths, or even downward facing dog. And press your chest back towards your thighs. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale, extend your left leg high. Exhale, take the knee to the left elbow, slide it down to the wrist. Right elbow, wrist. Left elbow, wrist. Right elbow, wrist. Extend it behind, inhale. And as you exhale, we'll step it between your hands. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, lift your heart. Exhale, take your hands to heart center. Excuse me, and close your eyes. Feel the feet on the floor. Feel the effect of the practice working through you. And we'll bring our feet together. This is our last standing flow, so hug your legs together. Inhale, reach your arms up in line with your ears. And as you exhale, sitting into Utkatasana, chair pose. So just check that the knees are far enough back that you can see your toenails. Draw the abdomen in. Drop the weight into the heels, lengthen the tailbone. Inhale. Exhale, take your arms behind. Inhale back into your balance, lifting your right knee in line with the hip. And then we'll step your right leg back. High lunge, take your hands to the floor. Press back into high plank. From high plank, we'll move back into downward facing dogs. Send the sit bones high, take a breath in. And as you exhale, we'll take your right knee behind your right wrist for pigeon pose. Begin to extend your left leg behind. So if this isn't comfortable for your knee, it's causing any sort of pinching sensations, take the knee into the center. So walk your left leg back, lift the heart, inhale. Exhale, pour the body forward, forearms on the earth, or you can bring your head all the way to the floor. So once you arrive and settle here, just notice what's showing up. So sometimes as we arrive into a pose, the body is guarding a little bit. So can you soften and move into the right glute muscles here? Even think about the right sit bone, draw it back towards the back of the mat, releasing the left hip bone down towards the mat and moving to the front of the mat. So just breathing into any sensations that are showing up here. Notice, is there any habitual holding that you can consciously soften, let go of? Jaw, shoulders, or somewhere else. We'll take one more breath in here. Inhale, keep drawing that right hip back. And as you exhale, we'll begin to walk the hands back up. And then we'll bring your left leg all the way forward so that the left inner thigh is pressing against the right sole of the foot. We'll take your right hand behind you for stargazing and then begin to press that right knee down. Press the left foot towards the floor as you lift the hips. Maybe you can reach your arm over your ear, see how this feels for your body this morning. And then circle that hand all the way around. And as we do this, we'll move into a twist. So left arm against your outer right thigh. You could walk your right hand in a little bit closer to your tailbone. Really lengthen the spine, inhale. Exhale, turn abdomen, rib cage, and chest to the right. Inhale, lengthen from the base. Exhale, turning shoulders and head to look out over your right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen from the base. And as we exhale, we're going to unwind and allow the torso to face over the left leg as much as you can. Bring your fingertips to the floor to lift your rib cage up away from your pelvis. And as you exhale, we'll pour the body over the left leg, Janu Sirsasana, with a little bit of a side bend in here. So inhale, lengthen from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Exhale, fold a little deeper over that left leg. Just breathing into any tightness, any restriction. And then slowly, mindfully walk the hands back up. We're going to grab hold of your blocks if you have them, and we'll cross your left leg in front of your right. So this is your Sukhasana easy seat. So the shins are crossing, edges of the feet are on the floor. And this is a great little lift for the upper body and core. If you don't have blocks, you can still do this with the hands on the floor beside the hips. The blocks just make it a little bit easier. So first of all, we're going to press down into the blocks to lift the hips off the floor. So you could stay here, or you could begin to move the shoulders away from the ears. By doing this, you're engaging the lower abdomen. Then you could play with lifting one leg at a time or both legs together. And then we'll lower down. And then from here, we're going to make our way back into pigeon. So bring your left leg behind you. Three-legged dog. Reach your right leg up, inhale, and then walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat with your legs together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale into your chair, one breath. Exhale, palms together and pause. Once again, just feeling the feet on the floor and the movement of your breath. Inhale, reach both arms up in line with your ears. And as you exhale, sit into chair. Again, lengthen the tailbone. Shift the weight into the heels. And draw your abdomen in. Now inhale, reach your arms behind. And as you exhale, coming into that standing balance, left knee in line with the hip. We'll step back into our high lunge. Plant your hands on the earth, step back into plank, high plank, and then press back downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, one. Inhale. And as you exhale, this time we'll take your left knee behind your left wrist, making our way back into our pigeon pose. Each hip will feel different, so make sure this feels okay for the left knee. If it's out to the left-hand side, walk your right leg back. Try and sink both hips towards the floor. Shoulders away from the ears, lengthen the front of your spine. And as you exhale, we'll pour the body over, making our way into resting or sleeping pigeon. Taking a few soft, arriving breaths. And drawing that left sit bone back, right hip bone forward and down. Just one more breath in here, inhale. As you exhale, begin to walk back into high pigeon, and we'll circle that right leg or bring it all the way around to the front so that the right inner thigh and the left sole of the foot meet. Starting with stargazer, so sweep that left hand behind you. You're going to press down into that left knee, bring your hips forward, so squeeze your glutes. Either keep your hand on your hip or maybe you'll reach the arm over your head. Just see what feels right for the body. And then circle that right arm down and around, and we'll make our way into a seated twist from here. So feeling both sit bones on the ground, we'll take your left arm behind you and right arm against your left leg like a lever. Inhale, lengthen from the base, so creating space between each vertebrae. And as you exhale, turning abdomen, rib cage, chest, shoulders and head to the left-hand side. So breathing into any tightness, any restriction here. One breath in here, lengthen. And as you exhale, unwind so that the body faces over the right leg. We'll take the fingertips to the floor so we can really focus on creating space, lifting your rib cage up, away from the pelvis and the floor. And as you exhale, pour the body over the right leg. So think of length here. Rather than bringing your head down towards your knee, think of moving in the direction of chin to shin. Just creating that length and space. Also balancing the amount of effort that you're bringing into the pose with the amount of ease that you feel in the pose, so that we're not over-striving and clenching or overreaching. We're lengthening and writhing, softening. It's a nice little stretch for the QL here. Just one more breath in here. Inhale and lengthen. And as you exhale and walk back, we'll come into easy seat Sukhasana, crossing your right shin in front of your left for those little lifts, upper body and core. So squeeze the blocks in close to the body or bring your hands to the floor underneath your shoulders. We'll press down to lift the hips. Then begin to lower the shoulders. So use your core to lift a little higher, draw your abdomen in. Play with lifting one leg at a time or two together. And we'll lower. This time we're not going to make our way back up to standing. We'll bring our feet to the floor, hip distance apart. And actually we can keep our blocks here for a bridge as we come down. If you haven't got blocks, that's absolutely fine. Just feet on the floor. Scoot the hips up towards your heels and lower the upper body down. Just bring the back of the head to the floor. Make sure there's space between your neck and the floor. So that's important. Shoulders away from the ears. So you're not going to add any tension into the neck area. Cactus your arms. So that means you're going to bend your arms at the elbows. Palms will face each other. So actually this is more of a robot arms than cactus. So begin to press actively into your upper arms. Spread your fingers. Press down into your shoulders, into your feet, and we'll lift into the Setu Bandhasana, this bridge variation. Checking in that you're pressing evenly through both feet, evenly through the inner and outer edges of the feet. You can stay here, or if you choose, you can bring your right knee into your chest. Just hold it there, flex the foot. Notice how that increases the intensity on the left-hand side into your hamstrings. And then we'll bring your right foot back down onto the block or the floor, and then lift the left leg. Flex the foot. And then we'll lower and slowly lower the hips to the floor. You can move your blocks out of the way now. We're just going to finish with a little bit of windscreen wiper here, as we've already twisted. So shoulders away from the ears, feet are on the very edges of your mat. We'll take a breath in. And as you exhale, just let the legs fall to the right-hand side. Maybe the gaze will turn slightly to the left. Wait for your inhale, bring the legs and head back to center. Wait for the exhale, legs to the left, let them fall. Gaze to the right. Only if that's comfortable to turn the head slowly. So we'll just do this 2 more times each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, back to center. And as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Gently rock them a little side to side. And now wrap your arms around your legs. We finish with cannonball. So hug the knees actively into chest. Make yourself as small as possible. Take a deep breath in, tighten and squeeze everything. And as you exhale, soften and make your way into our final pose, Shavasana. Grab what you need to make yourself comfortable and cozy. So staying fully present as you settle into Shavasana. Just feeling the body arriving on the floor in your chosen shape. Just feeling the support of the earth beneath you. And for these next couple of minutes, just giving yourself permission to be fully supported. So nothing for you to do here but to relax and to feel. Feel the practice and gravity working through you. Feel the touch of air and temperature of the air against your bare skin. Feel the weight and the texture of your clothing. Feel the gentle beating of your heart. Feel the movement of the breath and the space that you have created between your breaths. Noticing the space that you've created in the physical body and the mind. Letting go of any residual tension or holding. Feel the body relaxing, letting go. Feel the body being breathed. No effort. No conscious thought. Just begin to invite a deeper breath into your body. Begin to introduce some small movement into your hands and feet. And then take a stretch whatever way feels right for you right now. Maybe a yawn or a sigh or some sound that serves you right now, just to let go of. And then placing your feet on the floor, we'll just gently roll onto your right side and just settle there for this morning's reading. Happiness is within reach. What we need to be happy is a question we often forget to ask ourselves. Is there something you could do for yourself that would make you happy? Put a spring in your step, a smile in your heart. Many of us haven't asked ourselves this question enough. Some of us haven't asked it at all. Or if we have, we haven't answered it. Instead, we diligently search for our path, for the way through our lives, through our current situations or circumstances. Never taking time to ask ourselves, what would make us happy? What would feel good to us? Then we wonder why life feels so hard, so difficult, and unrewarding. Discovering what would make us happy can help us through any difficulty in life. It can help us through the quieter moments of our day. It can help us make larger, more significant decisions. It can help us in our work, especially if we look into our hearts and answer honestly. What would make you happy? It's a simple question, but one with profound consequences. Asking and answering that question, then acting on it, is often our path. A path that will lead us to the next step. A path that will lead us to our best interests. We will be choosing our destiny. What would make you happy? Ask yourself often. Think about your answer. You may find that the answer is within your reach. And now slowly, mindfully, just bring yourself to a comfortable seated position. We'll take our hands to heart center. in Anjali Mudra prayer. As you inhale, we begin to draw the breath from the very base of your spine to the crown of the head. And as we exhale, we bow first to our hearts for showing up, giving ourselves the time to practice and each other. Namaste. And thank you so much for joining me this morning. So you might have noticed the dogs were a little early with their round of applause for our practice. Have a super bank holiday Monday, and I'll see you on the mat at 8:30 tomorrow night. Thanks for joining me, guys. From my heart to yours, namaste.